Hello, and thank you for watching. I'm Adam Block, and I'm here as a member of the Planning Board to present warrant Articles 6 and 7, creating a new Avery Square Overlay District in Needham Heights. The proposed bylaw changes, as outlined in Articles 6 and 7, impact one property located at 100 West Street, consisting of a little more than 4.2 acres of land and one existing structure. For reference, I'd now like to show you a GIS map of where the district is located in town. Here you see Needham Heights, and the new district boundaries include at the north, West Street, on the east, Highland Avenue, and the southern boundary is the former Hildreth Place, and on the west side is bounded by the MBTA commuter rail. The bylaw lays out the regulatory framework for the proposed Avery Square Overlay District as is detailed in the article explanation in your warrant. I'll now like to discuss the purpose of the new Avery Square Overlay District. The purpose of this new district is to create needed senior housing opportunities in Needham, which we regard as a public aim. The Planning Board believes this is a project in the public good at the right location because of its proximity to the senior center and other walkable amenities, including the commuter rail, a pharmacy, a grocery store, among others. The existing building previously served our senior community in similar ways. As you will see, the proposed uses will have minimal impact on the neighborhood and less impact on the neighborhood than the previous uses had, while making a beneficial contribution to our town. Adoption of these articles merely enables a developer to submit an application to improve the property. Adoption of these articles does not guarantee development. To be sure, a developer will still be subject to the rigorous and transparent special review process, including public hearings, in which members of the public and the planning board may question any aspect of a proposal and impose restrictions and mitigations. This bylaw is unanimously supported by the Select Board, the Finance Committee, the Council of Economic Advisors, the Board of the Needham Heights Neighborhood Association, and the Planning Board. We are asking for your support and affirmative vote for Articles 6 and 7. The uses allowed by right in this bylaw mirror the uses allowed by right in the underlying Avery Square Business District. The uses allowed by special permit in this bylaw mirror the uses allowed by special permit in the underlying district and also include assisted living and Alzheimer's or memory care facilities, independent living apartments for those 55 years and older, and a mix of uses where the primary use is allowed by right or special permit in either the underlying district or this new Avery Square Overlay District. As a reminder, the special permit process is a public process that enables the planning board and the public to examine the detail of the uses and all aspects of a developer's proposal and authorizes the planning board to impose limits on the impact development could have on the surrounding neighborhood, in addition to other restrictions. Under the current zoning bylaw, the maximum allowable height is 35 feet or 3 stories. This bylaw amendment increases the maximum allowable height to 44 feet to accommodate a fourth floor under strict conditions. The fourth floor may only be occupied by special permit for senior housing. In the event the building is not used for senior housing and a special permit is not granted to occupy the fourth floor, then the fourth floor shall remain unoccupied. In the event the existing building is demolished sometime in the future and a new building is constructed in its place, the new building can only be 4 stories if its purpose is to provide senior housing. If If the new building served other purposes, it can only be a maximum of 3 stories. The current floor area ratio for the underlying district is 0.7. The pre-existing non-conforming structure currently at this site has a floor area ratio of approximately 1.0. The proposed amendment will slightly modify the floor area ratio to 1.1. The modest increase in floor area allows construction of the 4th floor within certain limits. These limits require the size of the 4th floor to be no larger than 35% of the total area of the existing roof. Strict setbacks place an addition over 100 feet from West Street, at least 35 feet from the existing southern facade, and 15 feet from the Highland Avenue facade, which itself is set back from the street, with no setback of the train or western edge of the building. Based on the Institute of Transportation Engineers Parking and Traffic Analysis, the proposed mix of uses, which are independent living, assisted living, and memory care, are projected to generate less of an impact than the prior mixed uses of a nursing facility, assisted living, and medical offices. In keeping with town policy, this bylaw requires 12.5% of independent living units to be affordable. These affordable units will be comparable to market rate units and will be subject to affordable housing restrictions under section 1.3 of the town bylaws. The proposed development supporting this amendment is projected to increase the property assessment by over $28 million, from approximately $9.5 million to nearly $38 million. That amounts to generating over $550,000 per year in revenue to the town. The anticipated municipal expense is approximately $163,000, which yields a net positive impact of over $390,000 annually to the town. That amount increases, of course, as the property value, the assessed value, rises over the course of time. The proposed senior housing use is expected to generate $3 million on local goods and services spending annually and to create 87 full-time equivalent jobs. I'd now like to present a number of photos showing the current structure that was built in 1955 and an artist's rendering of what the remodeled building would look like from a number of different exposures or locations. Here you see the existing view from Highland Avenue. This is the proposed view from Highland Avenue, and I call your attention to see the very edge of the building where you can only partially see what would be the 4th floor, because the 4th floor is set back off Highland Avenue. So from this angle, from the street level, you're seeing just really the top edge of the 4th floor. Here you see the structure. This is the existing view from West Street. Here is the view from West Street, and you can see the 4th floor construction here and further along the building, where the building makes an L shape. Here's the existing view from Mellon Street. Here's the proposed view from Mellon Street at an elevated level. Here's an elevated level of an existing view from Highland Avenue and Morton Street. And here's the proposed view from Highland Avenue and Morton Street. Here is the existing view of the southern parking lot. And here's the proposed view from the southern parking lot. Here's the existing view from Hillside Avenue. And this is the proposed view from Hillside Avenue. Here's an aerial view of of the existing structure with a rendering to demonstrate some of the landscaped area, and then in addition, the fourth floor. So you can see that the fourth floor is set back off of Highland Avenue, which itself is set back some from the street. That there is a setback off of West Street, and that there's a setback from the former Hildreth place, and that there's virtually no setback on the western edge of the building at the side of the MBTA commuter rail. The fourth floor represents approximately 8.5% of the existing total building area. The planning board is supporting this bylaw because we believe it brings to the community a renovated building and services that materially add to the benefit of an important segment of our community. Approval of this bylaw will only gate the development to go through the ordinary Approval of this bylaw will only gate the development to go through the ordinary planning board special permit process. In addition to the select board and the finance committee, we ask for your support and affirmative vote for Articles 6 and 7. Thank you.